77 FM.
Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. I'm your sports mixologist, John Hart. On the other side of the class, Gabe Kuhn, and we got a whole lot coming up. I got some great stories in Hardwood that'll blow your mind, literally blow your mind. Also, some great texts at the First Bank text line. A couple people said, man, if millennials know what they're doing at an early age now, why are they leaving home at a later age? I told y'all statistically, it's a fact that, over 50% of college graduates now after they graduate are moving back in with their parents.
And they're not making much.
Well, when you graduate, when you, like my father, when he graduated from college, he didn't have any debt. When the average student graduates, they have $40,000 debt. So how are they going to go put that down payment on a house that they have to pay back a loan? It's a totally different world. If you don't have children and you're not, very difficult. The middle class, if you haven't noticed, has been getting gutted for a long time. But a lot of these young people we're talking about are athletes, and they have different opportunities. And RJ Hampton and Carter Stewart and the Brian Bowens, or then the sad situations where you hear the Hunter Hill or Adonis Thomas or Marcus Boland. I mean, these are real also stories where college hurt them. And yes, there was a wonderful text that says, I don't necessarily disagree, but you have a lot of high school, baseball draft picks that choose to forego the draft just to play college sports, and they can't leave after 1 year. I love the baseball model. I think that should be the entire model. If you don't choose to go pro right after 1 year of high school, then at least commit to 3 years, just like the baseball model does. I love that. But we'll talk more about this on the other side. Don't you dare touch that dial. We'll be right back. Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
Frontier Western Store's world-famous boot showroom is waiting for you. With aisles and aisles of boots in one easy spot, you will find your next favorite pair at Frontier. Everyone loves Ariat boots, and Frontier has over 1,000 pair in that brand alone. Come grab a pair of rugged work boots like the Work Hog, or discover an everyday classic in Ariat's Rambler. Tons of other brands as well: Rocky, Dan Post, Red Wing, Durango, Justin, Twisted X, and many more. Frontier constantly restocks and refreshes their lineup of boots, so you're certain to walk out of the store happy in your new comfortable footwear. They have a wide assortment of sizes available for men, women, and children. Work, dress, or play, Frontier's knowledgeable staff will cheerfully help you find the perfect fit. It's boots galore at Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road, Olive Branch, or on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated, you know it, since 1967.
Are you tired of all the clouds and bad weather? Rain brings pollutants that can wreak havoc on your car's finish, but there is someone who can help. Car Wash USA Express has introduced their most advanced car wash yet with the exclusive Polymer Pro Wash, creating a stronger, more consistent protective sealant for your car's finish. Polymer Pro can only be found at Car Wash USA Express, where attendants are always on duty to keep you and your vehicle safe. For more information and locations, visit carwashusaexpress.com. Car Wash USA Express, because a dirty car is a dirty shame.
Now that it's spring, there are more reasons to go downtown than any other time of year. Between Redbirds games, shows at the Orpheum and the Forum, and other downtown venues, this is the time to plan ahead and make time to visit Memphis's premier dining destination, 117 Prime in the heart of downtown. Whether you're just going to swing in for a specialty drink you can only get at Prime, or some oysters from the best oyster bar downtown, or have a leisurely perfect meal before you go someplace else. If you're going to be downtown, plan to spend some time at the best restaurant downtown. Plan to spend some time at Prime.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
I want to invite you to come by the Spirit Shop. You know, that little log cabin on Poplar, your liquor and wine oasis. The Spirit Shop has been providing sports fans their beverage needs since way back in 1969. So come in now and get ready for the big game. Whether your favorite team wins or loses, the Spirit Shop will help you celebrate or ease that pain away. The Spirit Shop is open every day, and they're located perfectly at 4848 Poplar. That's the corner of Poplar and St. Nick.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 87.7 FM, as well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app, and at home, tell Alexa or Google to play Sports 56. If it's happening in the world of sports, we've got it covered. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Gun enthusiasts in the Mid-South know all about guns and ammo at 3615 Summer and 577 Goodman Road, Suite 4 at the corner of Goodman and Elmore in South Haven, because they carry the largest selection of both guns and ammo in the area. They are authorized dealers of Colt, Benelli, CZ, Smith & Wesson, Glock, Ruger, Sig Sauer, Vergara, and a lot more. If you or someone you know is looking for something for self-defense, competition, hunting, or just something that goes boom, then get to Guns and Ammo, 3615 Summer in Memphis and 577 Goodman Road, Suite 4 at the corner of Goodman and Elmore in South Haven. The Can-Am Spring Fever event is on now with our family of off-road vehicles that are built for this. We're built for seeing the sunrise and for days lasting past sunset. We're built for trails, tasks, and tough times. And we're built to move you through what won't move. So how do you become built for this? By getting to the Spring Fever event at Olive Branch Motorsports, 5656 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and finding a brand new Can-Am off-road vehicle for a $3,000 rebate on select 2018 models for limited time. Certain restrictions apply, subject to credit approval. See your dealer for details.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios, Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and WPGFLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
If you like
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Check it out right here. Ladies and gentlemen. And now,
the only man to ever win the World Series of Poker with a Scrabble board, Johnny Harden.
What is up? Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm extremely happy and I'm extremely excited. And I want everybody out there to listen to me clearly, because this is Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Like, that's basically all I can tell you. I'll have to explain it later on, but that's the start of it. And, of course, then there was some talk yesterday. You know, we lost. You know, it was a tough weekend in losing some great legends in Bart Starr and, of course, Mr. Bill Buckner. And I was talking, and I had a conversation with a few people, and I did not realize how heated this was going to get. I am not going to in any way ever say that. I always respect my elders. I think you should always respect your elders. I think people, though, that are out there who are freaking out because you might say that, you know, Bill Buckner, man, you know, everybody remembers him for that one play. I think this guy's like this close to being a Hall of Famer. And then they go banana sandwiches. I just start wondering, what is it that, like, you have? Why do you have so much hate for a guy that had 2,715 hits? He won, you know, a batting title. He was an all-star. I'm not saying he was an all-star every year, but also would like to remind you, did you know that his worst year in strikeouts, this is where I have to say these guys aren't around anymore. Bill Buckner, his worst season where he struck out the most. This is like, he was 69 when he passed. He passed with dementia. He got remembered for the worst, like that ball going through his legs. Everybody remembers him for that. When, again, this guy played and he hit 324 with the Cubs. You know, he won the batting title in 1980. He was one of the best defensive first basemen, period. But everybody remembers that error in Game 6 of the 86 World Series, and that's what Buckner's remembered for. And again, this guy had 2,715 hits. He's right there close to the 3,000 hit club, man. But do you know what, for me, is the most impressive stat about Bill Buckner? That this man never struck out more than 39 times in one season. Did you hear what I just said? We have guys that struck out 39 times last month. It's May 20.
That right there is an example of where the MLB has gone.
20 years, man.
That
this
is
dude,
wild.
20 plus years. He never struck out more than 39 times. In fact,
if someone struck out,
by the way,
39,
his average season was 19. The average, his average was, per 580 at bats. He averaged 19 Ks.
That's the league leader by a lot, isn't it? In today's game,
that's sick. Could you imagine right now, like that? I mean, only person I even think close was Ichiro back in the day, who would put it in play all the time. But I don't even think he's close. I mean, he would get 200 hits every single year. But I want you to think about what I just said. And you can get upset with me, and you can tell me I don't know anything about baseball, or I wasn't around, and he's not, the Hall of Fame's not the Hall of Good, it's the Hall of Great. Okay. He had 2,715 hits, 174 home runs, a career 290 average, and again, never once struck out more than 39 times in a season, had 183 stolen bases, an on-base percentage career 321. I don't know, man. I'm not saying he's the best in the world, but again, for me, he didn't strike out like hardly ever. And we look at today, and people strike out. Like in his career, how many strikeouts did he have? Because, I mean, I know that there are many people that I believe that probably have had a season that have struck out as many times as Buckner did in his career. In fact, okay, so in this year, he had 575 plate appearances, 13 Ks, 15, 26, 23, 17, 28, 18, 16, 26, 30. The worst he ever had, 39 strikeouts in 518 plate appearances. That was his worst season. That was the most strikeouts he ever had in a single season. Can you believe that? And in his career, by the way, in 10,037 plate appearances, he only had 453 strikeouts. That's 2 seasons for my man, Joey Gallo. My friend Dan, he's called into the First Bank phone lines. You can do the same at 901-360-8255. Hey, Dan, how are you doing today?
Hey, Johnny, I'm good. You don't judge a person by one thing that happened in their life. You judge them by their body of work.
Amen. Well said.
People are, I don't know, the older I get, the more it just makes no sense to judge a man by one thing that happened in his life. I mean, people are,
they're a lot more complex than one dead gum play, aren't they?
Right. Let somebody who's never, let them cast the first stone if they've never made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So that just aggravates me. I'm a Chicago guy, and I remember Buckner really well. But the guy was a great player.
And the thing that also was is he wasn't just a great player. I do feel for Bill in a lot of reasons, because he went out in a horrible fight with dementia, which robbed him and robbed his family, and that just stinks. And then there were so many years that he basically had to go into hiding because of that dead gum play. And I'm glad though that baseball did kind of reconcile. He reconciled with a lot of the fans, did a couple funny commercials, and I do feel like he was feeling better towards the end until, of course, dementia unfortunately took hold of him.
A totally different subject. I just finished playing in the FCA golf tournament out at Southwind, and I'm Coach Silverman, who I'm sure Gabe knows very well.
That was his position coach.
I don't want to correct you, but it is Silverfield. Silverfield. Close enough, though. You got the first part right.
He gave me his card because I told him I had my Liberty Bowl football, and I didn't get everybody's signature on it. I'd probably need to bring it to the station and get you to sign it because I didn't get yours either.
Shoot, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, well, I'll bring it by one day.
Okay.
But I'm thinking this guy's a year older than Norvell. I'm thinking he's too young. So Tommy Bowden was the speaker. So I'm sitting there talking to Coach Bowden, and he walks up, and he had actually recruited him. He recruited him, and they got to talking, and it was really interesting. I mean, talk about a small world.
That was sitting in on a nice little conversation, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Then Coach Bowden and I started talking about turning 65 and having to go on Medicare. And he's standing there like, Coach Bowden said, "I'm so sorry. I didn't even." He and I were going back and forth, but you talk about a nice guy. They both, I mean, real nice people. I bet he wasn't as nice on the field, was he, Gabe?
Well, they have to have some sternness to him, but he's a great guy, man. As a friend and just sort of as a peer, man, he's a really good guy.
Well, I have to say thanks for being out there for the Bull Bramlett golf tournament. That's awesome, Dan.
Man, it was great. We shot 10 under, didn't even finish in the money.
Ooh, they're shooting out there today, huh?
Yeah, that was a 16 under in this morning session. So, anyway, great show as usual. I just thought I'd weigh in on that.
Hey, Dan, thank you, and I hope you have a blessed day, man. We'll talk down the road. That's how you do it, my man. It's simple, 901-360-8255. My man Dan's out there. Just got done playing in the, John Bull Bramlett
catching
FCA.
some cool conversations.
I was
man.
getting
That's
ready
nice
to say,
right
being a fly on the wall, man, he basically was right there catching some great conversations. Got to talk with your position coach. That was pretty interesting. So a lot of fun going out there here on the golf course. And it sounds like people are throwing darts. But I thought Dan opened up the conversation with one of the greatest points. To be defined by one moment of your life is got to be difficult. One, it's not fair. Two, and we are so much more complex as human beings. And we also, as a society, as a bunch of people, we're also more educated, and we're not that stupid. Bill Buckner should not be remembered for that one play. I'm saddened to hear of his death. I am glad that he developed a friendship with a lot of the players that are now part of the game today, and some of the Red Sox. I saw some great tweets yesterday from Mookie, et cetera. Some great, very heartfelt stuff. And a lot of, fans, who, show that they cared. I mean, because like I said, he played with Boston and Chicago, and he had a 22-year MLB career. This guy.
And I went back and looked at those stats because you brought up the fact that his worst year in strikeouts
39.
But he was a great player. I mean, the fact is he hit 290 consistently, always had double-digit home runs. Always was. I mean, I don't know how many times he was an all-star, but I didn't know all this stuff, man. And that's what I, as a sort of guy that was born after his time, remember him for it because that's all I've been shown of him.
The craziness, though, by the way, like the two that I looked at that I thought were some of the most impressive things was in 1985, he had 719 plate appearance. That year, he struck out 36 times. But think about this. In 1982, he had 709 plate appearances. He struck out 26 times. Holy moly, people. Think about that. Like I said, we have people who strike out 26 times, no joke, within a month. Who was it that, somebody struck out? I mean, what was my man in for the Orioles? Didn't he strike out, I think, like 30 some odd times before he even got it hit this season?
You talking about Chris Davis?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
with a C, not K.
I remember he was like
it was so
for 60 or something with like 30 strikeouts.
And so come on now, Buckner. Yeah, but a lot of people don't realize that he was a really dead-gum good baseball player. Was he the greatest ever? I don't know if he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But again, longevity, the numbers, and I guarantee you it would be talked about a whole lot more if he didn't have that infamous 1986 Game 6 ball through the legs play.
On another note with this conversation, I think people, because they sort of miss they don't watch the MLB as much anymore, they miss the fact that it's probably changed more than the NBA, the NFL, as far as how the game is played and who they want on their team. I mean, the fact that he was struck out, 39 times is his worst tick, and now you have guys striking out 200 and, fill in the number.
You want to hear something crazy? I got
triple-digit
strikeouts. Blow your
strikeouts.
mind. You want to hear something? All right. So in their first 10 years of play, if you had 5,500 at-bats and had a 300 average, did you know there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 5 players. Sorry, he's the 5th player. There's only 5 players in history of baseball that have ever started their first 10 years with 5,500 at bats and to have at least have a 300 average. And that's Rod Carew, Pete Rose, Al Oliver, Steve Garvey, and Bill Buckner. That's a pretty interesting note right there. And Buckner, by the way, would have been a 300 hitter if he didn't hang on for all those years. And his average did at the very end. It tailed off. Like when he finished, I mean, let's be real. 1988 to 1990, 249, 256. And then he finally finished that year, 50 plate appearance, 184 plate appearances, 216. That was, you know what I'm saying? Like those brought his numbers down those last few years. And then he also had that one year, he batted 273 before it really started. But I mean, look at this guy. I mean, year in and year out, 306, 311, 324, 323, 301, 314, 319. I mean, for a nice decade, he was easily a 300 hitter who didn't strike out. And no, he wasn't a big power hitter, but he had a great glove over at first base. And he got on tons of doubles, tons of RBIs. That's the other thing. People forget. The guy also, back in the day, when people driving in 100 runs, I mean, he drove in 110, 102, 105. He's done that. And back in the day, driving in 100 runs, that was a big, big, big deal. Today, that's you want to be a stud, you got to do that. But anyway, I spent a lot of time talking about him. I didn't mean to talk that long. I just love baseball. And I also hate the fact that one man was judged for basically one thing when I think he's a lot more than just that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Now, I do have to mention, this is very interesting. So we've been talking about how players today, RJ Hampton, he's chosen to go to New Zealand. We've talked about how Marcus Bolden skipping his senior year at Duke to turn pro. A lot of people think that he's crazy, especially after he averaged 5.4 points per game last year. Again, I'd like to remind you that in 2016, this was the number 1 center in the country. And because of Zion and the people that have come through Duke, he's been kind of brushed to the side. Now, the sad thing is, and the thing that is so weird, that did you know in 2016, had he had not gone to Duke, I was looking this up, he had a first-round grade, and they thought he would be a top 5 pick.
I did not know that, but it sort of reminds me. You remember
how much money did that cost him? I mean, think about that.
Yeah, but you remember DeAndre Jordan, right, back in the day?
Yep.
I mean, he was not good at Texas A&M, and I remember he declared, and he was a second-round pick. So, I mean, a guy like that, he can play a role.
We'll also see, though, because of the center position and how much it's changing.
Yeah, and I don't know if I've seen him play. I don't know if he's like one of the most offensively inclined centers I've ever seen, but obviously those guys sort of develop as their career goes on, though. DeAndre Jordan didn't come into the league a finished product. I'll say that much.
I just got text that says, Johnny, did you know today's Hamburger Day? National Hamburger Day. We have a national day for everything. I understand. Thank you, Texter, by the way, at 67129. By the way, though, when I think of Memphis, I like hamburgers and everything, but I'm not kidding with you. Y'all can laugh at me. Can I do something? Can I make fun of people real quick? And this is going to offend my family probably and a lot of people out there because I think there's a lot of people that do this. But why would you live in the greatest city in the world that has the best ribs in the world? And then you think that because it's one day a year and you watch some cooking show, and now all of a sudden you think because you went and spent some money on this new grill and a smoker and you bought some chips or something and you read a book or again you watch the cooking channel that all of a sudden you think you're Bobby Flay or something, okay? Like, don't cook ribs for people in Memphis. When I go over for a pool party, cook hamburgers. It's hamburger day. Do hot dogs, steaks. If you want to get down with something like high dollar, go steaks, man. Chicken breast. But do not, under any circumstance, tell me that, come on over, we're cooking ribs. Because do you know what that means? I'm not eating. Because one, I don't like your potato salad. That's horrible. Also, the ribs you cook, you think
this is a real deal PSA right now.
This is ticking me off because it's like y'all cook them for like 6 hours and think they're good. They're so tough. They're over seasoned. They don't fall off of no bone. In fact, they almost kill me.
Well, there's some people that can cook some ribs. Man.
Okay. There are 1 out of like 150 when I can tell you right now, there are 4 great locations at Central Barbecue that are close to anybody. You can go downtown, right there to Civil Rights Museum. Bing, bang, boom, done. They spend 36 hours smoking their ribs. That's why they're fall off the bone. Delicious. I mean, are you spending 36 hours smoking your ribs? Nope. Do you have the unbelievable sauce and skill and just basically the big old barbecue pits and all the unbelievable wood that's being smoked? Nope. By the way, let me also tell you, for all you people out there who are doing that, stop it, because not only do they have downtown for all my folks downtown, but now they got you out east. They've always had you covered. You forget about the one over on Summer. Don't forget about the original Gangster in Midtown on Central. And then now, I don't care if you're in Collierville or in Germantown, but you can get right down the street because Poplar, the new location on Poplar, which is gorgeous and beautiful and has the nicest person in the whole wide world working there in Cardi. What's up, man? I'm serious as a heart attack. Anybody and their grandmother, you want ribs for Memorial Day? Get them from Central Barbecue. If you have to say you cooked them, the people at Central Barbecue don't care. But you know what? The people that come over and eat, they're going to be grateful that you actually got the best ribs in Memphis. And when you live in Memphis, you know the best ribs because you probably eat at Central Barbecue all the time. So when I come over for Memorial Day, please, Pitmaster Bob, don't tell me, look at this smoker that I bought and these unbelievable chips. And look at all this money I spent on these ribs. And then 6 hours later, tell me, yep, they're done. Because guess what, buddy? They're not.
This has been a public service announcement from John Harden.
Don't do this. You live in Memphis. You know what? It's kind of like going to take your girlfriend to the red light district. Or it would be like, let's see. Do you take water to the ocean or sand to the beach? I mean, there's so many things in the world that you don't do. And in Memphis, cooking barbecue is one of them. Go to Central Barbecue. And this is a PSA from John Harden, because there is nothing more frustrating than going over for a nice, happy Monday or Sunday. And you walk in and find out that Bob thinks that he's Chef Boyardee and he's cooking ribs in Memphis, Tennessee. And he's not Chef Boyardee. He is literally like, put a burger on the grill, bro. Don't leave the ribs to Central Barbecue Homes. And by the way, don't forget, you can even ship them, cbqmemphis.com. But go check out their 4 locations and don't ever invite me to a barbecue unless your ribs are Central Barbecue Homes. This has been a PSA from your buddy John Harden. Coming up next, Hardenwood, Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
The Press Box with Keith Parker and Elliot Wender. Weekday mornings at 6 on Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Listen up, fellas. DXL is built for big and tall guys, okay? Which means they've got clothes built for style, built for comfort, and best of all, built for you. Get this, DXL spent years developing their own sizing patterns to deliver a great fit every time and every size. And with over 100 brands, DXL will have you looking great. So head to DXL.com and check out a store near you. DXL Big and Tall, built for you at DXL.com.
Lads, up your life with Lads. It's time to be the talk of the neighborhood or lake house with that custom golf cart built by the experts at Lads. With both new and used models, they are sure to have exactly what you need. The brand new Club Car Onward encourages families and friends to come together and enjoy being outside. Find out more at ladsonline.com or call 901-324-8801.
Lads, up your life with Lads. Lads, up your life.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition. And yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here. Kick it.
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
Gold and shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the whistle of the evening train. You know you about to wind up dead. You don't head back
to Tennessee Jets. Sing it, Jerry. Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. I am your sports mixologist. It is a beautiful Tuesday. We had a great weekend, a little 3-day action. A lot of people, man, Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to all those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Still loving on you, as we always should. But we have a great show for you. We've been laughing and talking about some stuff. Everybody at the text line at 67129, the First Bank text line, has been absolutely cutting up. I love all of y'all, my phone personally, and on Twitter at Johnny_radio. Check that out. But we're about to go to my favorite place in the world. But before we do, I want to remind you, I don't go anywhere without the people who helped me get up and cover this show. And one person that's been with me since day one, and not just day one, but actually was with me over 11 years ago when they bought my house. Didn't even know this was going to happen. And that's Bill at I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. If you think you're upside down and you don't think there's anything you can do, stop thinking. Let somebody else that knows something talk to you. All you have to do is call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Explain your situation and let him do his magic. 901-406-1101. There's so many people he can help, and he loves help. He's Memphis born. He's Memphis bred. He's a Memphis man till he's dead. I'm telling you, you will like him, and he will help you out. He will do things that will blow your mind. Plus, it's just a new way to sell your house. You're too busy. Everybody's too busy. You don't have time to, like, basically how it is, any house, any area as is. That means you don't have to do the floors. You don't have to paint the walls. You don't have to do all this. They'll do all that. You just call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Bing, bang, boom. Get your check in 5 days because he's guaranteed to close in 5 days. And he's just going to buy it as is. And then you move in. Moving on up. Life is good. It's just that simple. Or life isn't going very well right now. He can help you. Again, if life is great, 901-406-1101. If you need some help, it's a phone call, 901-406-1101. And now it's time to go to my favorite place in the world. Thank you, Bill, for making it possible. Let's do some Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Oh, Yes, sir, it is. And I'm so fired up because my man has Gabe on the other side a Lamar Odom story.
What is up with Lamar Odom? Man?
Tell me all about it.
Like this is nauseating, kind of weird. But anyway, Lamar Odom claims that the late owner, he died. His name's Dennis Hoff, the owner of the brothel that he was found in 2015 OD'd. He claims that Dennis Hoff, this owner, tried to kill him.
What?
He said he did not knowingly take any drugs that night. Get this. And he says he has proof that, he didn't knowingly take it. And
this is a guy who just like last week was like, I'm an admitted drug addict. Always for my life, I always want to do drugs. I always want to get high. I just got to stop. And now instead of taking responsibility and saying I'm an addict, now that dude's dead, you're going to start blaming him on all your problems?
I am amazed by this, man. This is really sickening. But at the same time...
Dude, that's an excuse right now for him to go out and get basically blown up.
I don't understand why he's like... Didn't he come to the forefront and say that he did do it and tried to own up for it? And now he's saying he didn't knowingly take anything?
Dude, I don't even know what even to say about this. I can't even believe it because, again... This is a guy who willingly went out to a brothel and got the VIP treatment with many, 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 many girls. This is a guy who's come out and said, I am a drug addict, a sex addict. I have multiple failed marriages. We know all about him and Khloe Kardashian. The guy by the way, is a medical miracle. The fact that he's alive after several. I mean, he had several strokes and heart attacks. Doctors didn't even think there was any way this guy was going to ever walk and talk again. And now that he's walking and talking, man, some BS sounds like it's coming out of his mouth right now.
You waited till the guy died just so he couldn't talk for himself is what it seems like to me. But
dude, he must be getting a film deal out of this or something.
I have no idea.
I bet you $1 million he's going to get a film deal or he's going to sit down and do a bunch of...
The fact that you claim you had no idea that you were taking cocaine, crack, all these different illicit drugs, come on, man. You knew what was going on. You can't.
What was that white powder I was sticking up my nose over and over?
It's pretty hard to not know you're doing those things, but I guess Lamar Odom is going to try to claim it and say that Hoff attempted to murder him. This is bad. It's
wow.
Really bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's also insane. And I got to tell you something that's funny. Since we're talking about Kardashian-esque and the Odoms, and it makes me think of Khloe. Did you hear Jay Williams today call the Lakers the Kardashians of the NBA? Thank you so much.
It's true, though. It's very
roast.
True.
That is a roast of all. Like, that is an epic roast. I mean, you're a team that at one point had Magic and LeBron James, and everybody was thinking that, oh, this is going to work. You had Rob Pelinka. You had the coach, the man who won so many games, like 20 some odd straight when he was with the Golden State Warriors, and Luke Walton. And guess what? It is falling to pieces. Yes, LeBron James is still there, but now everybody and their grandmother is laughing at you.
You could easily do a reality show with what the Lakers have going on in the front office with their players. Every player has their own crazy personality. I think you could do it. I think you could pull it off. I think that's a really good comparison, quite frankly.
Well, today y'all know about the article that has been dropped that's gone scorched earth on the Lakers. By the way, Pelinka or Rob Pillow, whatever you call him, Rob Pelinka, aka Rob Lowe, and
he does look like him.
Yes, he does. Which, hey man, ain't bad, But it is funny. Like, a lot of people are calling him a liar. Magic's getting thrown under the bus. He's throwing Pelinka under the bus. Jeannie Buss seems like she has no control over anything. The Lakers look like they are just absolutely a loss at everything. But how weird would it be if Rich Paul comes in and next thing you know, they do get like Giannis or a superstar to come play for them. Next thing you know, they're in the playoffs. And then guess what? All this is for naught, and the drama will end up actually being probably a moneymaker. But right now, everything that's going on in Los Angeles looks completely lost. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Big Baller brand drama actually is so far down on the list that nobody's even talking about Lonzo or the Big Baller brand and that thing falling apart. That is kind of also weird. That's how big of a mess the Lakers are.
Well, that was never really news. I mean, the fact that it collapsed was news, but like, what else has come out about that would make it sort of something to bring to the forefront.
You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's just,
they have so many different stories, so many different personalities on that team. And in the front office, like with Magic leaving and everything, I feel like there's no way that you could bring that story up because there's no new leads.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that is new, and there is a lead. Now, LeBron James might be struggling on the basketball court, but did you see what Bronny James got? Opened up his Instagram account today. It didn't take him less. It took him less than 24 hours to get 1 million followers on Instagram. Are you kidding me? Whoa!
Now he's got to be a social media influencer.
He's going to be.
Do the teeth whitening strips and everything. And
man, that is crazy.
Put it out there for everybody. That is wild.
That is. I mean, I don't think people understand. That is wild. And by the way, I told you I was going to look at this up. My man brought this up, Gabe, yesterday. So I had to go and look at it. Drake, realistically, I'm about to bring up the John story, but Drake, I have to say, has two people that have changed my personal opinion of them, and that is John. Coach Cal did something really classy for some, people not far from here, and it was something that I have to say, mad respect. Really, really, really respect John for what he did. I saw it on the Commercial Appeal. They did a nice little story on it, and I got to give them some love because that was a heck of a story, and I'm going to tell you about that in 2 seconds. But first, before I get to this John story, I got to say, Gabe, you weren't lying. Snakes on a plane or anything that you ever dreamed of. Remember, what was it?
You're talking about Drake's plane.
Drake's plane is the dopest thing I've ever seen in my life. I didn't know that Drake was like that. I was looking at Jerry Jones' awesome yacht, and we were looking at, Daniel Snyder's yacht. No,
like that. This is not
I want a jet. No, this isn't like a
this is what you
G4.
fly. This is what you fly from Memphis to Atlanta.
Yeah. This is like what you fly from Memphis to San Francisco or the Caribbean or anywhere in the world you want. This is a huge, huge, huge jet. It is so dope, by the way. The inside of it is the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. He's got it specially all messed up. It is draked out, I guess you would call it. And I just want to know, how much money did he spend on it? And I can't figure it out. But they say they guess that he spent $220 million over the past couple years. He bought it for around $185 million, and they think that he spent $220 million for upkeep. So he spent about $400 million on this jet. Could you imagine? That's how I didn't know he had money like that.
I was looking up the video of the inside of it. It is the most ridiculous. It looks like Air Force One on that damn thing.
Dude, it is so awesome. In fact, if I was the players, I would be flying on Drake's.
I think it says Air Drake on the side too.
Yeah, it does. It is so dope. By the way, I got to say, Drake, I didn't know you had it that way. Drake, I am one of your big cheerleaders. But I do have to ask you, does Drake and the Toronto Raptors have any chance against the Golden State Warriors?
No. As far as I'm concerned, I think they'll win a game. I'm not saying they're not going to at least, take one home while they're at home. But we're talking about the Warriors. I have to see them lose before I can say they're going to lose. I can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It is hard, but man, after seeing Drake, I got to say, man. By the way, Steve Kerr though was awesome the other day. Did you hear him being interviewed? And somebody said, "Are you going to be okay with Drake putting his hands on your shoulder?" And there's a song, and Drake has like these lyrics, and I can't remember exactly what they were, but Steve Kerr came back with the lyrics of the song, and it went over every single media member's head, and I just thought that was so dope. Steve Kerr is pretty funny. He's a really good coach. But anyway, good luck, Drake, and good luck, Toronto. It's going to be tough, but Kawhi, if anybody can do it, Kawhi can. Now I got to mention how Dan earlier said something I thought was very, very great and relevant, and it's pertinent to what I'm about to talk about with Coach Cal. One thing that you do in your life should not define you. John leaving should not be the lasting thing that you remember him for. He did a lot of good things for Memphis. Yes, he spurned the university. He broke your heart. He took the #1 recruiting class in the country to Kentucky. But realistically, as time has gone on, it's been over 11 years now. Are you okay? We got Penny. Penny's in the house, number 1 recruiting class. Life is pretty good. But I got to say, man, John did something that he didn't have to do, but it completely, I got to give Drew Hill some serious props. He put this out in the Commercial Appeal. When I read this thing, I was like, wowzers. What a classy man. I know y'all probably remember the young man who lost his life, Talon Vale. He was sleeping in his grandmother's house, and he was senselessly, absolutely for no reason, he died from a stray bullet in a drive-by shooting. I don't even know. As a father, I couldn't imagine losing a child to a stray bullet from a drive-by shooting, a senseless murder that shouldn't have happened, that didn't have to happen, and that stinks. And if you didn't know, the young man, he was a freshman, and he dreamed of being just like the young man, Malik Monk, who was, an Arkansas native who went to Kentucky, and he said he wanted to play, basketball at Kentucky, and that was always his dream. And to be honest with you, his mother, since his passing, every day she's been probably crying. And it was Mother's Day, and Drew Hill did a great job, writing about it. You need to go read the article. I retweeted it. But they went over to Mi Pueblo. We're sitting there, and, Tabitha Vale is sitting there, and the grandmother says, you want to cry now or you want to cry later? And she's like, I'll cry later. At least let me order something and get some food. They get a little bit of food. She kind of picks around it. And then the grandmother says, go wash your hands. And now she understands why she said, go wash your hands, because when she came back to the table was completely empty. And on the table was a jersey, a Kentucky jersey with the last name Vale. And it was signed by Coach Cal. Also accompanying it were, a letter from him. And it's just beautiful. And he also offered something I think that was just so classy. He said, his dream, again, was to be just like fellow Arkansas prospect Malik Monk and get a scholarship to go play at Kentucky. And while he is no longer with us and he had a absolute senseless death, John also sent along a scholarship offer. And yes, of course, it's in jest. He's not, really, but he has his name, and she's got it hanging up, and it says Vale, and it's a Kentucky jersey. And the scholarship offer is also right there from Coach Cal and signed and everything. And yes, it's a small gesture from Coach Cal and Kentucky fans, but what it meant to her, she now says she feels like she's part of something, and she's going to the first game. And it's not that her son ever suited up and played one game for Kentucky, but because his dream was to become a Kentucky basketball player. And because Coach Calipari reached out to her and said, well, I'm going to make that dream come true, even though he's no longer with us, she's always going to be a part of the Kentucky family. And that's something that is so classy. And again, one thing shouldn't define you. And he changed this woman's life, because I know that, Talon will never come back. He can never come back. But at least, she can every once in a while have a moment of happiness, and she can smile and not just constantly think about the senseless death, but can, have some positive things to think about it. So, Coach Cal, I got to give you credit. That was straight up class. Now I got to take a quick little break, but we'll be right back. Don't you dare touch that dial. Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
In today's evolving workplace, XMC understands the process of getting office work done has moved from the desktop to your pocket. The new Xerox multifunctional printers and Connect Key app technology are game changers. Are you working with confidential information? Does it need to be secure from unwanted threats? Do you need to translate documents to another language? Xerox's App Gallery provides solutions like secure printing and easy translator technology. XMC is the second largest exclusive Xerox agent in the U.S. with 9 locations to serve you. We've been in business for over 25 years and have received top awards from Xerox. In changing our world one experience at a time, our team's committed to doing what's right for your business. XMC is proud to be your leader in document and print management, and it'd be our pleasure to serve you. Contact XMC today at 888-814-3114 or visit our website at xmcinc.com. XMC, excellence in office solutions.
The Can-Am Spring Fever event is on now with our family of off-road vehicles that are built for this. We're built for seeing the sunrise and for days lasting past sunset. We're built for trails, tasks, and tough times. And we're built to move you through what won't move. So how do you become built for this? By getting to the Spring Fever event at Olive Branch Motorsports, 5656 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and finding a brand new Can-Am off-road vehicle for a $3,000 rebate on select 2018 models for a limited time. Certain restrictions apply, subject to credit approval. See your dealer for details.
And now, an ad from Mom.
Here I go. Bundling home and auto with Progressive can save you money on your car insurance. No kidding. Oh, all right. I'm sorry. I added that last part in. You can edit that out, right? Or you can keep it in if you like. I mean, my opinion is I think it's good. I think other people my age would like it. Very relatable.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Gun enthusiasts in the Mid-South know all about guns and ammo at 3615 Summer and 577 Goodman Road, Suite 4 at the corner of Goodman and Elmore in South Haven, because they carry the largest selection of both guns and ammo in the area. They are authorized dealers of Colt, Benelli, CZ, Smith & Wesson, Glock, Ruger, Sig Sauer, Vergara, and a lot more. If you or someone you know is looking for something for self-defense, competition, hunting, or just something that goes boom, then get to Guns and Ammo, 3615 Summer in Memphis, and 577 Goodman Road, Suite 4 at the corner of Goodman and Elmore in South Haven. Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches, 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland, or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
You don't have to visit the coast to enjoy fresh, delicious seafood. Catch the coast right here in Memphis at 7140 Stage Road in Bartlett and the new store at 5992 Knight Arnold at Ridgeway. Fish, shrimp, and of course crabs at Crab King Seafood in Bartlett and the brand new store at 5992 Knight Arnold at Ridgeway. Steamed or fried, lunch or dinner, and even catering open Tuesday through Sunday. Visit the coast today. Crab Kings in Bartlett or the new store at 5992 Knight Arnold. Download the app and get a free drink. Search Crab Kings on Google and the Apple Store.
Now, back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Here we go. On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar.
Oh, don't ask why. And guess what, everybody? Welcome back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour, and I need the whiskey bar now. I'm freaking out, man. And I'm really freaking out. Gabe, you're about to freak out, too. You know what's trending on Twitter? Like, no joke.
What?
UFOs, homie.
Oh, yeah. I saw that last night.
The Navy pilots, and I thought,
they're not denying it anymore. Huh?
No, man, what's going on, dude? Or if there's really some UFOs out there, I'm going to tell you right now, if my last day's coming and we're about to have, like, War of the Worlds, I'm going to 5040 Sanderland, and my last meal, interim. Best food in Memphis, dead serious. There ain't no place. If I have to have my last meal, I know where it's going to be. Interim Restaurant is the best food in the city. I guarantee it. And I'm going to tell you right now, from 4 to 6, Monday through Thursday, you walk in there and you say you want the Johnny Radio special or you just want the happy hour special, 20% off. That's right.
I'm amazed at how smooth that was, man.
Wasn't that pretty smooth? But I'm dead serious.
I would have my last meal there as well.
I am going to have my last meal if this is coming down, but we got to talk about this in just a second. But I'm dead serious. Do me a favor, call 901-818-0821 as the aliens are for real and they're coming, according to the U.S. Navy and their pilots. Get your reservation, 901-818-0821. I don't know what's going down, but I know one thing. It's going down for real over at Interim. It's delicious. It is off the hook. Plus 20% off 4 to 6. Don't forget, Interim Burger, you can get an egg or foie gras or little duck confit. Thing is so dope. I'm telling you, Interim. Now, before I give the pick of the day, Gabe, I did mention this. I gotta talk about it. Do you believe what is going on, and are you a little bit freaked out by it?
I believe it, and not really, man. I mean, it's probably been like that for a while.
You think they just like checking us out?
Yeah. I mean,
like, why is all of a sudden like
I believe
the U.S. not like denying it like they always used to? Like, why are they actually now stuck this?
I mean,
thing
you
out?
believe in aliens, right? Or no?
Well, yeah, now I do.
Well, I believed in them the whole time, man.
Well, I mean, like how small we are. Like when I, learned how big the universe realistically is, and how expanding, and how many stars there are, and just our galaxy, and how many galaxies out there. Like the chance that even if like you think, like anyway, I don't want to get into that. The chances of us being the only one alive is infinitesimal. Like it's almost impossible.
I didn't read the whole story. When were these UFOs supposedly seen, and where?
Okay, so they've been following, they said, since 2015. They just now released this thing that's saying that, like the pilots don't now have to deny it. And the pilots are now saying that from 2015 till now, they have, especially like this one that keeps returning and over to the same area. And they've had like they say that the mysterious object looks like a white Tic Tac and fly and can fly at like speeds that nothing on Earth we can even understand. And
can we get interviews with these guys though? That's what I want to know.
Well, the New York Times interviewed 5 pilots, but they wouldn't
no names
disclose their name or their rank or anything. But they did. I mean, like, dude, I'm telling you, man, in my lifetime, I never thought weed would be legal. And I never thought the government would say, yeah, we don't know what these things are. We're not saying, and now they aren't saying that they're aliens. They're just saying that they're phenomenon we can't explain, that moves really deadgum fast. And that went over from the went from the East Coast to the West Coast in a matter of like 12 minutes. That's rolling, yo.
Them some aliens, man.
That's what I'm saying, yo. Like, we can't, like, dude, how in the heck?
That's scary. That is
scary, man. But no. We had a lot of fun today, and I hope you had a lot of fun. Coming up next, the fun continues. You got Wolo. You got Brett Norsworthy. They're going to drive you home from 3 to 6. So whatever you do, don't you dare touch that dial. But remember, get out there, make the world a better place. And remember, as John always says, don't take the losers, take the winners. And I got one for you. Max is not fried, but he is freed. And the Atlanta Braves, Steven Strasburger, they got a dude who's beat. I'm not going to take the Phillies today because of what's going on. And I don't believe in the Nationals, but I do believe in Atlanta. Atlanta minus 15. And let's go, Max. Whatever y'all do, get out there, make the world a better place. See you on the flip side. Peace.